Vrajadiraj Nandana.
That's a continuation. It continues keeping the strictness. Not too strict means something that it's not only some crazy people, some fanatics can do. You follow? Or something that is so what do you call out of normal, or so austere that really you don't even attract normal people, because people just don't want to do those things. Sometimes it's strictness for the sake of strictness. Okay? So, strict, of course, here is giving a general model. It's not talking about each group, but strict. In other words, there are demands for membership, there are demands for full acceptance, or like being initiated, devotee, like that. There are demands, but not so strict. It's like we don't demand. Too strict would be like, okay, everyone who is married has to take sannyasi right now. That would be too strict, you know? Somebody may come up with that philosophy, but it's not our philosophy.
So, in these 10 points, there is one aspect which is repeated twice.
The strictness.
Yeah. So, is it that, is it a pointer to the seriousness of this thing? Like, we should not be too strict, at the same time, we should not be too much diluting the process.
There are also twice the children. There are many aspects. Again, different movement will be more relevant for one, more relevant for one. Like for instance, this fertility. Okay, for some movements which are more encapsulated, isolated, that's very important. Because if people die, they're not children. It's finished. It's just finished. There's no more. But for the Mormons, a lot of their children live, but they are still growing. In fact, right now the Mormons, they have 3/4 of the Mormons are new converts. Although they are there since more than 150, almost 200 years. But right now, of 4 Mormons, 3 are people who join. So they don't really, even if they lose some of the youth, I'm just saying statistically, they still can grow. So it depends on the groups. But strictness, we could translate strictness as purity. You follow? That was Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada is our main reference point. Gave us some standards. This, and this, very clear. So if we start, say, modifying, compromising, we even become less attractive. We become less authentic, become less powerful. We cannot demand the level of commitment that we can demand of our members. And we get a lot of free riders, and then, a lot of contaminations creep in. But that's what strictness should not be seen in isolation, okay? It should be seen as a way to get the benefit of the commitment. Okay? Should not be seen in isolation. Oh, we are strict and no. Through the strictness, through that energy that you get out of strictness, that you can do so many things. Just imagine our lifestyle. If instead of getting up at 4, we were getting up at 6. Just imagine, like a mental picture. It will be completely different, right? The mood, the type of experience we have of the Bhakti Yoga system, right? So say, imagine, instead of 4, of course, many of you get up 3 or 2:30, or maybe some of you don't even go to sleep, I don't know. But imagine, 4 generally is the cutoff point, no? Imagine, instead of 4 becomes 6. Already a completely different experience of our lifestyle. 2 hours, 6 o'clock, again, start the rounds at 6:37. It's different. So strictness should be seen as the what do you call it? As the capacity of experiencing the benefits. Okay, so this was a presentation. Any question? Any comment? Again, we are trying really to enlarge, we're talking about intergenerational issues, okay? Not just today, tomorrow, after 5 years. We're talking, ISKCON is a young movement, but these dynamics are already present. You can probably take any of them and apply.
Can we do that?
Huh?
How ISKCON is fulfilling those successfully?
Well, in some way they're fulfilling, in some way we're not. I mean, it's not that. In ISKCON we have good examples of I think all of them, and we have not so good example of all of them. Take it as a warning, you understand? I'm not presenting this just to say we are the best. You follow? That's not the mood. I'm presenting this because, I mean, two things that come in my mind is, first of all, we have the potential to survive. Or we have the potential to grow. But we need to be faithful. We need to be loyal. And the other is a warning that some of these dynamics, they're not very well in place. In some place, the congregation is so weak. It's so weak. It's so undeveloped. They come for years and years and years, and they don't come. They don't chant Hare Krishna. They don't go to the civil books. You ask the philosophy, they're still half Mayavadis. And these are regular people who come every day. I'm thinking of a temple in South India where I was living some time. Again, these are regular people who come every week. They listen, they don't understand anything. Many of them. How many, you just see how many of the congregation come to the level of initiation. In some places, very few. Because there is no demand, there is no pressure, there is not that sense of seeing them as potential pure devotees. So, I want to tell you, I want to tell you this, that the whole, and this is a general principle. Can everybody see this flip chart? Huh? If you can, please move, take a chair, grab a chair. Look, congregational development depends on your vision. First of all, on what you can see in people. And let me give the example of a block of marble. It was this Italian artist, Michelangelo. Many of you heard about him, okay? He was a great sculptor. He identified himself as a sculptor, though he also painted a lot. He defined sculpture as the art of taking away, the art of taking out. Because you have the marble and everything is already inside there. You just have to take out the extra. Painting is different because you have a canvas or a wall and you have to put colors. But marble, it's all inside there. Depends what you see. Somebody may see an elephant, okay? Visualize an elephant, and then he pulls it out. Somebody may visualize a peacock. Somebody may visualize a bird. Somebody may visualize Radha Krishna. Everything is inside there already. Similarly, when a new person, someone come in touch with us, with ISKCON, it's like a block of marble. And it's up to us, the preacher, to see, what we want to pull out of that. And there are different ways. Some people may just see, okay, inside here, I see a donor. That's all they see, really. Some people, this person can give some money. I'm not saying that people should not give money. Try to understand. I'm just saying, you limit this person, our relation will be based on focused and aimed at him becoming a donor. Okay? Some other person may say, he can become temple regular visitor. So they strive for that. Okay, let me buy this, that. In other words, another person may say, no, I see a sadhaka inside here. This guy can chant Hare Krishna, can chant 16 rounds, and can follow the regular principle, and can have an altar at home, and can offer all his food. He can do it. He sees that. Somebody else say, I see this thing, but I also see he can become a preacher. He can become a sadhana and a preacher. He can become a reference point. He can turn his house in a mini preaching center. He can go out and bring in other people. And some people say all this and a leader. You know, Srila Prabhupada even made, and at that time was 77, Srila Prabhupada even made a congregation of devotees, GBC. Somebody who never lived in the temple. Somebody who was a businessman, 2 wives simultaneously, not 2 men, 2 wives simultaneously. And he made him GBC. Okay? So, you can, whatever you see, you can pull it off. And, so there are 2 elements here. First, your vision. Okay? What are you visualizing? Second, your capacity to manifest it. Srila Prabhupada, when he was in that crazy place in the Bowery is a place in New York where it's famous for drunkards, really people, misfits, social dysfunctional people end up in the Bowery. And he stayed in that, you remember that loft upstairs? And there was that boy, what's his name? David, yeah. Was doesn't come, the classes, but he was also taking a lot of drugs. Okay, and probably what's he writing to his the brothers or friends in India? So this David is showing interest and planning to make him into a Brahmana. Remember that? It's in the Lilamrita. So I see what he was seeing. Here you have a drug addict, crazy guy, dirty fellow, and what should Prabhupada say? I'm going to make a Brahmana out of him. Of course, free will is there. Free will is there. David did not choose to listen to the Swami. Swami was saying, don't take the drugs, you don't need drugs, this, that. He won't. And one day, you remember, he flipped out. And Srila Prabhupada had to run in the street because the guy was totally off. You know that, you remember the story, right? But what he was saying, I'm going to make him into a Brahmana. He did not let Srila Prabhupada make him into a Brahmana. But there are people who let Srila Prabhupada make them into a Brahmana and they're still around. So Srila Prabhupada, they got these hippies, long hair, long beards, drugs, girlfriends, strange philosophy, alt Buddhists, all this, all that. But he saw that, he saw the present. It's not that he was some sort of dreamy person. He saw the present, but he knew, I can pull out something very good out of this. And then he pulled out gurus, sannyasis, GBCs, and some kept letting Prabhupada work on them. Some, at one point, chose to cover themselves again with the mark. So congregational development is really based on what you see and what you're able to pull out. Any questions? Yes. And then we take the Gayatri break. Somebody knows exactly when is the astronomical noon? You don't care about these things. You don't know when is the Sunday exactly? Huh?